My kids soften my heart, but I'm still enraged. 3 straps to the head, give it up, how villains made. Straight gutter. Kinda lonely, alone, never been a day. Matter of fact, my chick Nina, my closest of friends today. My buddy. Forever be engaged, be known as my friend of bae. Couldn't marry it, bust that time, gotta bury it. I've been astray, deserted, a renegade. Utensil got to rest, never know what my pen will say. Be like, if I was white, would it be easier? If I was born with wealth, would I be pleasing her? Do you see my worth as I proceed to work?
What it do, my people? Yes, sir, it's BFA Flex. That's BFAFL to the EXX. And I'm coming to you with another episode of the Hurt Biz Boxing Podcast. Yes. And I have a hot topic, a big fight coming up. Benavidez, David the Mexican Monster. Benavidez versus Anthony Yarde. Yes, sir. And we're going to do a deep dive and analysis and a prediction on this fight. But before we get started, do not forget to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. We need to get this podcast and my name, BFA Flex, that's FL to the EXX. We need to get it in the algorithm on our way to 100,000 followers and subscribers. So I need your help. So moving on. And please, do not forget to check out my long catalog of music available on all streaming platforms. I have 2 new singles out right now, Summertime Fine and Watch Me Finagle, which you have just seen, which is available on all streaming platforms as well. All of my music you just seen in the previews, so please do not hesitate to go stream that. Great fight songs on my catalog as well, because I'm a huge fight fan. So I urge you to go listen and stream. But back to boxing. Big fight. Yes, sir. It's always a big fight when we're talking about the Mexican Monster. So this is a tough fight for both fighters. I don't know if you guys are familiar with my guy Anthony Yarde from across the pond, a UK black guy with some style and pizzazz to his boxing style. Let's give it up for Anthony Yarde. Okay, so we have to understand, with these 2 fighters, both of these fighters like to fight. So we got a fight fan's favorite potentially on our hands, and potentially a fight of the year candidate. I'm guessing this could be, and foreshadowing, because these both guys are tough guys. So they're tough guys, meaning that they both box and they like to fight. And they like to fight to gain respect of their opponent rather than just to outpoint their opponents. And you know, the amateur style is more so the I'm going to outpoint you, but when we get to the professionals, as my title of my podcast says, this is the Hurt Biz, you dig? Yes, sir. So just that aspect alone, that these guys like to box and fight and gain the respect of their opponents, should make for an exciting fight. So give me some on that. So let's talk about the actual fight now. So about the fight, I'm going to play a little devil's advocate because no one's really talking about this fight. It's not really gaining as much momentum as I feel it should, because it's still a dangerous fight. Okay, so Anthony Yarde, he poses a significant threat against the Mexican Monster, David Benavidez. And how he poses a threat is if he's able to stick and move. Pop shot. Yeah, keep the fight on the outside. He's going to have to learn how to punch and throw combos and use his jab while being on the back foot. That's just is going to be the reality of the situation. So basically, not allowing David, the Mexican monster, who is one of my favorite fighters, Benavidez, to close the distance. So as soon as he closes the distance, as we just seen in a great fight as long as it lasted, it was just a great performance from Virgil Ortiz. I don't know what the game plan was for Erickson Lubin's team, but the main thing he should have been focused on with a fighter like Ortiz is not allowing Ortiz to close the distance. And within 2 rounds, he allowed Ortiz to close the distance, and we seen how detrimental that decision was. So basically not allowing David Benavidez to close the distance and unleash those lethal rapid fire combinations. Of course, Anthony Yarde, he's going to have to create and win those moments of exchange. And when he wins those moments of exchange, he's going to have to gain David's respect. It's not just about sticking and moving. You're going to have to hurt David Benavidez at some point in this fight, which I do believe he can. And even though I believe he has the ability to hurt the Mexican monster, David Benavidez, I believe it will likely be an arduous task. So Yarde has the ability to box and possibly pull off an upset, outbox David Benavidez, the Mexican monster, early. Excuse me. But I believe Anthony Yarde's defensive responsibility diminishes as the fight goes longer. And as the fight lengthens and rounds become more taxing, you're going to see his defensive responsibility diminish as well. So just give me some on that. Let me know if you guys agree in the comments. This is why I talk about these topics, so you guys can let me know your opinion as well in the comments. So since we have somewhat of a perspective, we have to understand, since he loses defensive responsibility as the fight lengthens and the fight becomes, or the rounds in the fight become more taxing, he has also been prone to be hit with an educated lead hand or jab in the orthodox stance and a left hook. Now, come on now. If I'm lying, just go do your research. I'm just saying, man, just go do your research. So we have to understand that David Benavidez possesses both a great jab and a great left hook. Can I get some on that one? And
bringing beef in the mix and get slow cooked. Pass your girl around the squad, assist no look. Floss around savages will get your dough took.
punchlines, body of beat
with no hook. Niggas lying in their raps, keep that shit to yourself. How we gon' believe what you don't see in yourself? Like how you gon' succeed if you ain't thinking about wealth? Not asking how you can help, just asking for help. All you had to do was just bag it and sell. But you had to tell, so we told tag him and bail. Feel me like Braille, watch me finish the deal. Whether he's real, they say his whole swag or tell. Public service announcement to local artists is nobody wants to hear their favorite rapper start a kid.
Okay, so since we know David, the Mexican monster Benavidez, give my guy a round of applause. since we know that he possesses both a great lead hand, educated jab, underrated, and a beautiful left hook. One to the body, one to the head, both. Since we know that, we know there's a possibility it could be an early night for Anthony Yarde. And that's not a knock on his prestige as a fighter, because he's an excellent fighter. Give my guy a round of applause. I'm just saying, I believe David Benavidez will take advantage of those moments when we talked about the rounds getting taxing, Anthony Yarde's endurance starting to dwindle, and he starts pinning himself on the ropes, pinning himself in the corners without any attempt. And we don't even know if he's mindful of an exit route or creating one. He hasn't shown that component of skill in order to beat a pressure fighter like a David Benavidez, who is on the road to be one of the Mexican greats. And we have to put him up there with Saul Canelo Alvarez, if he keeps on this journey, which I believe he will. And we have to understand, a loss does not define your legacy. It can define your legacy by the way you bounce back from that loss. So we're going to stay on topic, and we're going to talk about the other greats that he can be compared to: Saul Canelo Alvarez, Julio Cesar Chavez. And just do your research on these guys. Salvador Sanchez. These are Mexican greats who I believe he probably looks up to in some aspect or another, I would guess. And he's probably studied these guys a lot. But David Benavidez has just an excellent boxing background. He was sparring world champions as a teenager. Let's talk about that. He's just he's a man's man in that ring, and I respect him, man. Give my guy an applause and a cheer. You dig? So yes, I do believe David Benavidez, the Mexican monster, takes advantage of those moments. And it could be an early night. That's when he might stop him. After that 6th round, because besides Artur Beterbiev, I don't know if Anthony Yarde has been in a pressure fight like this. And before the fight ended, I believe in the 10th round, he was stopped. He gave a heck of a fight. Hats off to him. A heck of a fight to one of the greatest fighters out there right now, Artur Beterbiev, who is being eyed by a future potential fight by David, the Mexican monster, Benavidez. He might even be fighting on this same card I just seen a promo for. So that could be trying times for Anthony Yarde and end up being brought to his demise, shall I say. So Yarde, if you study him, go look him up before this fight on November 22nd. Yarde tends to keep his chin up and high and his hands low when stepping back or rolling out. Okay, so he might be here when he's rolling out. And that's not taking away from his boxing acumen and his fighting skill and his heart. He still has a puncher's chance in this fight, because I can see him possibly getting dropped with one of those leaping left hooks. David Benavidez, the Mexican monster, has mastered on one of those rollouts or step backs with his chin high. I can honestly see that. Let me know in the comments if you guys can see the same thing. I believe both fighters possess good overhand rights that could serve beneficial during this fight, and maybe even change the course of the fight at any given moment. So I like to make a point that the Mexican monster has a better defensive acumen than Yarde, in my opinion. I believe his defense is highly underrated. We have to understand David Benavidez uses an active high guard for the most part, where he either blocks or parries many punches. And not many people are effective with that style of defense, as we've seen. I can name one like Winky Wright, who's not even Mexican, but utilized it to the best of his ability and exceptionally well. And I view David Benavidez in that same light when it comes to using that active high guard. He has mastered that, and it goes well with a pressure fighter as well. So I believe Benavidez also invests to the body way more than Anthony Yarde does. I don't know if he's trained to do that, because even in the training footage I've seen him, he doesn't necessarily have a bunch of training footage where I see him digging to the body or even working on the inside, on the pads or anything like that. That is why I say he has to come in shape for sure to keep a fighter like David Benavidez, who has perfected that pressure style of fighting, the Mexican style. He's perfected it. He will have to keep him at bay for majority of that fight, because I don't believe David Benavidez necessarily has the one-punch power to just knock him out. I don't see that. I believe he could stop him based on he has no more in the tank and he can't fight back, especially with all that ammo coming at you. Come on, man. If you don't know about the Mexican monster, go look him up. You dig? Yep, that's how his dang on punches sound when they hitting your body in your face. Do, 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 do. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Rapid fire, rapid fire. All right, so in conclusion, Benavidez, he should win by unanimous decision or by stoppage, but I don't necessarily see Anthony Yarde getting stopped if he comes in shape. I still see him getting outboxed and outworked if he makes it through the 12 rounds, but I don't necessarily see him getting stopped. I haven't seen that stopping power yet at this weight division for David Benavidez, which, in my opinion, it does shine some light on his boxing skills. Come on now. Okay, so I don't see Anthony Yarde getting knocked out, but it's boxing. Anything is possible. Do you agree? Do you agree? So what wins David, the Mexican monster, Benavidez, the fight? Okay, I believe David's pressure. Come on now. Everybody knows him. I've been talking about him and perfecting the Mexican style, pressure and punching. pressure and punching. Your offense becomes your defense. You dig what I'm saying? Come on now. Okay, so David's pressure, his sharpness, which all has to do with his accuracy as well, his hand speed. So those three components, his pressure, his sharpness, and his hand speed, will serve to be too much for a good fighter, in my opinion. Anthony Yarde, I like and love watching Anthony Yarde fight. He is a fan favorite. Go watch his fights, please, man, before you watch this one against David, the Mexican monster Benavidez, who is headlining a terrific stacked card. So please go watch some of Anthony Yarde, because I don't want you guys to be surprised when he is competitive and possibly could win. This is a fight, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now, this is a fight. So I do believe David's pressure, his sharpness, and his hand speed will serve too much for our friend across the pond, Anthony Yarde, who is still dangerous and could shock the world. I mean, shock the world. And we have to understand that, y'all. If he comes into this fight in 15-round shape, and with the right game plan that I've expressed, where the only way I feel he does win is keeping the fight on the outside. And it's not running. It's just a lot of straight punches, jabs, and overhands, and straights, straight right hands. He has to set it up. He has to do some feinting, foot feints, hand feints. He has to manipulate that high guard. And most of all, like he said in his camp, lions in the camp. My accent is a little off. Lions in the camp. I felt that though. I felt that to my core for sure. But yes, he has to come into this fight in 15-round shape. And of course, he might have to have some moments when he works some combos on the inside to his body and dig to his body, because that's going to take some of that pressure out that tire now as the rounds go, because he's going to get tired as well. He's in phenomenal shape. He's always in phenomenal shape, David Benavidez. But if he gets some impact to that body and that midsection, it could wear on him as well. He's still human, and he still bleeds just like the next man. So you can't be scared or in fear of going to David Benavidez's body. And in and out, stab jabs, feint up top, stab jab, jab up top, jab to the midsection, post with the jab, boom, to that midsection, out of there. It's ways Anthony Yarde can be effective against David Benavidez. Every great fighter still has weaknesses. We're human. It's about what you do and what your style is. Have you honed it to do it exceptionally well against any other style? And then you have battles where you guys might have a very similar style. And it's like, who's honed the style the best? Or more ideally. So that is my conclusion, ladies and gentlemen. As always, I'm thanking you guys for your undying support. Please don't forget to hit that like button. If you guys want to be a sponsor of the show, because it takes sponsorship to get to where I'm trying to go and where I would like you guys to go with me. We're trying to reach 100,000 subscribers, and we're trying to get this podcast And my name, BFA Flex, BFAFL to the EXX in the algorithm, so we can flourish together. If you like to leave a donation and sponsor my channel, I will drop a link on this video for my Cash App. And please do not hesitate to hit that Cash App. I will really appreciate it, and I'm thanking you guys in advance. But I'm BFA Flex, that's BFAFL to the EXX, coming to you with another episode on the Hurt Biz Boxing Podcast, where we only deliver exclusive boxing content. Please do not forget to hit that like button, comment, let me know what you think about this video and the topics we spoke about. Please subscribe, hit that subscribe button, and share this with your friends. Listen to it while you work out on a car ride. But all is well, and I holla.